The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everyone, this is Christina and welcome to our Scientific Forex Live webinar. I'm very happy to see you all here. Before moving on, please tell me if you can hear me. You can type it onto the chat box on the webinar control panel. Okay, thank you. I know that for a lot of person today is a holiday. Is the Labor Day. We should work, but and I appreciate that you are here with me. Thank you. I promise that it will be one short webinar, so you can enjoy your rest of the day or so. I will just make one recap for the system rules, and we will have some examples on Aussie dollar. Also, I posted, so I think that Christy will post very soon one example of trade on pound on the members area, so you can go there and to check it. And also I have to edit one other example of trade on euro dollar. So I think that this will help you, will help all of you. So coming back to our webinar, if you like to ask question, also you can type it into the chat box. This session is being recorded and will be posted in the members area for you. Also, please remember that our team is standing by if you need any help. If you want to chat personally or need extra help, just let me know. Go to the support section in the members area and call us, send us an email, or use Skype or live chat. We are here for you. We have a very nice team, and also I will do my best to answer to your questions. Okay, so now let's go onto the chart and let's talk a little bit about Aussie dollar. As you know, in the last years, Australia have a very nice way in economics. They sustain very well the economics with the export of raw material to China. They are exporting iron ore, coal, and natural gas. And because it was one of the economies of the world that was going in a positive way, the Reserve Bank of Australia had to increase the rate. So in the last month, they have some in the last month, their economy was slowing, and this fact just pushed the Bank of Australia to reduce the interest with 0.5 percentage to the 3.75 interest. So actually this is the reason why the Australian dollar just start to go into one downtrend. As long as the investor don't have the same yields for their money, they will be less happy to put some money into their economy. So I think that for a long period, the Aussie dollar will go into a downtrend. For the moment, what we can see, I am into the daily chart. Since the end of the February, the Aussie dollar start to go into a downtrend. I have to plot the trend line that cross through those two high. I will just plot also a channel. So this was the situation since February till a month, less than a month ago. We have here just 15 candles, so it passed just a half of a month. For this period, it was some signals that the pair will go into a downtrend. We had here one signal for sell that was confirmed also by MACD. And after that period when the pair was making a range, I'm sorry, it started a downtrend. Now, it was one other period for something like a range for the pair. But now we can see that we have a signal for sell on daily. If we are measuring this with Fibonacci, we just can see that the first impulse, the pair stop, made one reverse, and just stopped at that area at 41.4 and started that reverse. We don't have in this moment the confirmation from MACD, so it is possible for some period of time just to have one swing in between. Probably, as we know, the second wave of Elliott can try to reach again one level like 61.8, 70.7. So for the moment, we just have to go on small position, not for long period. And we have to pay attention to the events. If the situation in the other countries will be worse, I think also that it is possible to be reached this level. Otherwise, according with condition, that we have in Australia, and according with the fact that the Central Bank of Australia took that decision to reduce the interest to stop the inflation, I think that the pair will go into the down direction. Okay, so let's go into smaller time frame to see how we can manage those signals, those situations that we have into the daily. I will also mark some important events, technical events. That means that I will mark the rest of the cell signals on daily, and I will change the color for the signals when I will go into a smaller time frame. And here we have, this was like one confirmation from MACD, but also this cross of the red line of MACD under the water is one confirmation. Here we have the opposite signal is for buy. I will just mark it with green color, and also I will put the confirmation of the signal that we receive on MACD with green color. Okay, any questions till now? Okay, now let's go on a smaller time frame. If you cannot remember the situation, the big picture, just work with two windows on your screen. Okay? So let's go on a smaller time frame. I will take the 4-hour time frame, and I will see during those signals what was the possibility for me to go to some trades, and how long I have to stay into one trade. So after the first, here it was one signal for sell into the daily chart. Into the 4-hour chart, very soon after that signal on daily, I have one signal here for sell too. So I will mark this one. I will take one soft color to make the difference. So I have here the signal for sell on 4-hour. Also, I have here the signal, the confirmation from MACD. So as soon as I have the signal, I can go into one trade. If it is into 4-hour, I have to just put the Fibonacci and to see what will be my expectation for this. So I will put the Fibonacci into the last wave. I can consider from here or from here. I also can go on to daily to see. So probably from here to here is the last wave that I have to consider. So simply I will put the Fibonacci like this. It will be a lot of traders that will consider that low or the other one. But I think that here it was one impulse, one reverse with one ABC, and now it was a new impulse, but according with the situation, but because of the economic situation, I think that the pair just cannot reach again that high that was made in early in July 2011. So let's go to our chart on 4 hour. I will improve the levels of Fibonacci. I will take exactly the height. I will delete that Fibonacci. So for this signal, just I have to look at Fibonacci and to anticipate the levels where the pair will be possible to evolve in the future. So I can say that the Fibonacci will try to reach I can say that the pair will try to reach all the important Fibonacci level in the future, as long as I have this signal on daily and also the confirmation from MACD. So in some period of time, the pair will try to reach 38.2, 41.4, 61.8 and the higher level. Also, it is possible to reach that 100 percent Fibonacci to go into the down direction. I think that probably for the moment the pair will stop somewhere into that area 70, 78, but we have to pay attention about to the decision that the other countries will take, and because really I don't think that we have one clear image about the situation in the world, as long as we have in a lot of countries election period. So here for Fibonacci, so here for the pair, when I have the signal, I will just take as target the Fibonacci level. So my first target here after the signal will be 13, the next one 23, and after that 38.2, 41.4. I have to remember I am in 4-hour time frame, so those levels will not be reached overnight. And if we are looking to the history, we have about 150 candles on 4 hour. That means several days. If we want just to see exactly how many days, we just have to go on daily and to measure. But for a short period of time, I can look for those Fibonacci levels that are intermediate. Also, this is the reason why I put all those levels that are important and where the pair usually makes swings. So when I have the signal on 4 hour, I will simply put the stop loss a little bit over that Bollinger Band, a few pips higher than the 0 level of Fibonacci, and I will take as first target that 13 level, but sure, also 23.6 as the second target. So here will be the first target. Here 23 will be the second target. Here I will just put one note that we have the stop loss. So when I have the target, I will just have the entrance, the entry here. So I think that I will be okay for that. I will be okay to reach at least one of the targets. If you are thinking at risk reward, I have about 24 pips as risk, and for the first target 116, for the second one 216. So it will be a nice trade. When we are into this point, probably you also will have the new stop loss. If you probably you will want to protect part of the wins that you already have, and you just put the stop loss with the dot of SAR. Probably in this moment, your stop loss will be into this point. At certain level, you also can check again the indicators. So when you are in this period, you can see that the MACD didn't make its way under the zero line, and so here it was that point. And also the RSI 14 and RSI 14 and RSI 5 didn't make yet the way back for a crossover. So you can just put the stop loss in a lower point and to wait to see if it will be reached also 23. When you see that the bars from the histogram are coming smaller and smaller, and when you see that RSI 5 is going back to meet RSI 14, it's better to go out from the trade late when you have the signal for the opposite trade here in this point. When we have the cross of RSI 14 and RSI 5, and we have signal for buy. Also, if we are going into the chart, we can see that the pair made into this point one retracement at about 85 pips. Maybe it's okay that to keep that amount in your pocket. How I get, I have some questions, so I will just try to answer to them. Eric is asking me, is MACD confirmation only when red line moves outside of histogram, or are there other signals to look for? For MACD, we have the histogram and we have that red line. That red line, when the red line is going out from the histogram, this is signal for sell. Here also can be considered as a signal for sell. I will also use the cross for this. So here I have the signal for sell. Indeed, the pair went into the down direction and make 120 pips on 4-hour chart. Here it was one other signal. The red line of MACD went out from the histogram, and on the chart I have 58 pips. Also can be a good trade. Here again, so when the red line is going out from the histogram, it is one signal for sell. Also, a lot of traders, when they see that the red line is going under the water, is going from the positive area to the negative area, and the histogram starts to form bars into the negative area, they are considering that is a strong is one cell signal, and they are opening one or two more position for as they are opening some short position again. And yes, for the buy signal we have the same. I have here the red line. Just it's okay. So the same signal is for buy. When the red line is going out from the histogram, the bars of the histogram start to be smaller and smaller. I have a signal for buy. I will go with that line here. So here it start to go into the upside. As you can see, we have some lag between. It is one delay between the signal that I have on RSI and the signal that I'm receiving from MACD. The signal from MACD I'm using just as a confirmation because I prefer to go earlier into one trade to take more advantage. Simple like this. Here I have one other signal for buy from MACD, about 100 pips. Here was another one. And here the confirmation that the pair will go into one up direction. But here it was the end of the week and we have one gap. Probably there was a lot of traders that closed their position and just wanted to be relaxed in the weekend. Title: How should it be explained the divergence in MACD from 6 to March 13th of March? Title: I'm sorry, I just didn't study enough the divergence, and I don't know how to answer to that question. Really, I'm sorry. I'm not using in my system divergence. Stuart is asking me how many, Christina, how many is a few pips above the Bollinger Band? So, a few pips above Bollinger Band is depending on which time frame you are making the analysis. If you are on 4-hour time frame, 30 pips, 25 pips, it's okay. As long you are looking for a target that have about 100, 200 pips. If you are into 15 or 5 minutes time frame, stop loss have to be 2-3 pips above the Bollinger Band. So you have to put your target maybe 20, 25 pips, something like this. I feel more comfortable when I am into trades on bigger time frame because you have more accuracy, and also you don't have to pay you don't have to stay all the time to the computer. You can do some different things, and this is quite important for me. When you are working on smaller time frame, you have to be with one eye into the platform. So you have to stay most of the time to the computer. Michael is asking me, Christina, will you take profit at each FIBO level reach and re-enter a new short trade on 4-hour time frames? Yes, something like this. It means usual 1 day up to 3 days when the pair is going to each Fibonacci level. But it's depending a lot of the situation. Here, when the pair was at certain level, here in this point, it was not a clear signal for buy. But if I am into a short position and I see that is one clear signal for buy, I will go out from that trade. Make no sense just to, and all the time on time frames like 4-hour and daily, when the pair is changing the trend, you have one period of flat market. So probably the market will just make one swing between 0 and 13 or 0 and 23. And in that flat market, you can't have profits if you just keep the position open. Yes, if you are making one mistake and you rest too much into one trade, maybe it's okay if you have just that stop loss and close the position. Don't wait the pair to make a new high. Kai is asking me, how do you decide when to go for the second target? So I will decide if I'm going for the second target when the pair here, it was, I will make it a little bit, I will zoom the image just to see, to be able to see details. So here, at 13 Fibonacci level, it was a sign that the pair will go into the up direction, but was not confirmed. Now I will not make some other entry signal. But when the pair reach certain level, it's not a signal, a clear signal for buy. Also, this candle closed outside of the Bollinger Band. So didn't rest into the Bollinger Channel, into the Bollinger Band. So you can put together more information related to that position, and just to give a chance to that short position to bring you more profits. Anyway, up to this point, from the entry to that level where you have the stop loss at the sharp point, the last one, you have about 77 pips. So you will be comfortable and your risk will be lower. So the game is to have a lower risk. If you had the risk at when you enter into that position here, you can look for more profit without risk, without too much risk. But this is one personal choice. It's depending from a person to another. Edwin is asking me the third target, 23.8. Before is not clear what is the direction of the pair. I think just to take out from your mind the third target. You know that the pair have to make one reverse, so you will not be so sure that the pair will have the power to go to the 38.2 level or lower in this moment here. So it's better to go with small steps. As time, if we are talking about time, we have here about 11 candles, so 44 hours. And for this one, we have about 14 candles. So it means about 2 days. That move just took 2 days. 2 days for a trade is okay. You can go out and just to look for another move. Here also you can go into one buy. You know the previous high, so you will think that probably from the pair will try to reach again this level. This is what was happened actually. And after that the pair made his downtrend. And also we have that strong signal on 4 hour from candlestick pattern. We have also here the cross and so on. Clive is asking me, how do you get your entry so near the top of the trend down? I'm taking the signals from, so I have that red bar, that is the signal on daily. After I have a clear signal on daily, just to be safe, I will go on smaller time frame to look for same type of signals. I will look just for sell signals. So the next one is the sell signal on 4 hour. And I go into a trade. What I have to wait for? I have the signal. I have two confirmation. I have the signal here. Here I just have to put stop loss and I have to go into one trade. It's okay. Stuart, when you reach target 1, should you use a trailing stop? And if so, what distance? For trailing stop, you have to adjust it according with the time frame. But also, you have to look about the important levels of Fibonacci. You have to look from 0 to 38. So you have about 369 pips I don't know, maybe the stop loss will be okay at 10% of that value. I think that is better to, I have to think really about this. I am using actually stop loss of 25 pips and 35. If you have 5-digit platform, just be careful because the trailing stop is in points, not in pips. Kaito, can you explain the relationship with the price and Bollinger envelope? Even though envelope is lagging indicator, price still fits nicely inside of it. I'm using Bollinger Bands as in relation with volatility. Actually, we have one standard deviation. So superior and inferior Bollinger Band is standard deviation between the middle line is the standard deviation of the price from the middle line. So if I have a big distance between those Bollinger Band, like here, it means I have big volatility, and it means that the pair will move very strong into one direction, into the downside or into the upside. When I have something like this, it means I don't have big volatility. I will look for, here, in this area. The Bollinger Band are tightening, so I don't have volatility. It's better to stay out from this side, on this side of the pair. It means that the pair have to decide to one direction, into the upside or into the downside. If I'm not using one other signal, it's better to stay away. When you don't have volatility into the market, when you don't have volatility, the market is not a nice place. Alan, today I sold OC short, partially based on your indicators, partially on the expectation of interest rate cut. I exited after its major drop as it recovers a little, then open another short position with still open. This is great. How far down you think it will go on this leg? Thank you, Alan, for your words. So now, just I will delete parts of so now I will look on daily, and I have that signal for sell. So shortly, the pair will go into one down direction. Here I don't have clear signal from MACD. So probably this period will be a swing between those 61, 70 level and 38.2, 41.4. If we are considering this one, the pair went to 61. Maybe we'll look for 70, 78. I think that also will retrace. If we are looking for short time on 4-hour time frame, I have to delete that Fibonacci. And on 4-hour time frame, just I will draw the Fibonacci on the last wave. I will go on 4-hour time frame. So here it was the low. The pair just try once to pass 38.2 level. Now it was the second try. I think that the pair will try again to go to that level, 0 level, and will reverse, probably will make the third try. If the pair will not be succeed to go into the upside direction, and I think that we will not have this situation because they cut the interest rate. We can see what is happening at 0 level and if the pair will go into the down direction. On 4-hour time frame, here we have the sell signal, but now the RSI 14, RSI 5 are into the oversold area. It was the impact of the decision of the central bank. I am not so sure that the pair will have the power to pass over that level of 0. Probably will retrace maybe a 23, maybe a 13, and after that will have one consolidation and it will go into the down direction. So I think that maybe for the moment it's late to go into one sell, or maybe just if we are looking for something from 13 to 0, about 81 pips. But you have to remember that today and tomorrow, I think, is holiday. At least today is holiday for the banks. So we don't have volatility. Even if the market is open, we don't have much volatility. And probably the decision will be in the last part of the week. You are welcome, Eric. Gilbert, so again, I am looking on bigger time frame to see the direction of the trend. And I'm going on smaller time frames and I'm looking for signals. I know from daily that those red lines are signals for sell. So after that signal, here is the signal on daily. It's not the signal, that red bar, that vertical red bar line is the signal on daily, is not the signal on 4 hour. After I have that signal on daily, in a short time, I mean after 2 bars, that means about after 8 hours, I have again one signal on a smaller time frame. This will be the signal for my entry. Also, here I have a confirmation probably after other 4 hours because we have a little delay between the signals. So, in this point, I can go for a short position. I have probably to work with different Fibonacci levels, not with those one, because that Fibonacci is, I plotted onto the chart on the last wave that we have in, that we have today. Paul is asking me, does a shorter time frame usually give earlier signal? It gets confused between the signals on different time frame because they sometimes contradict. I will talk also about that area. I have here, so here I have one setting that give me the idea that very soon I will have a signal for one cell. I have histogram that is making higher and higher bars, and the bars start to be smaller also here. But in this point, it was a moment when I could think that the pair will not go into the upside and will make a cross here. Just let's put one line like this. And let's go on a smaller time frame. Well, so what I can see here, on 1 hour time frame, I have a signal for sell that was not confirmed into 4 hour chart. As long as I was waiting on 4 hour time frame, I was waiting for the signal. I didn't have the signal, but here on 1 hour chart is a very clear signal. And the move was about 60 pips. And also I had the confirmation from MACD. So if I'm going, it seems that will be a signal on 4 hour time frame. I'm going into 1 hour time frame and I'm looking, I saw the signal. I can go into that signal. I can go into that trade, but just I have in my mind that I don't have on bigger time frame the signal. So I have to be very precautious. I have to take care. I have to um, I have to survey all that at this rate because it's very possible to go into one negative situation. And actually, this is what happened here. The pair went just for a short period into a downtrend, but quite good for one trade. 50 pips, 55 pips is okay for one trade. And going to the upside, if I was into one trade and I put a stop loss on 1 hour time frame, maybe here, or maybe to that previous high, probably as long as I didn't was careful related to regarding to my trade, now I am into one losing situation instead to be in a winning one. Later, when I have signal from daily, or at least signal from 4 hour, I can go into that trade, into the trade. Maybe here, or I just look for the next one, but here is a good signal because I have that one on 4 hour and I have also that one that was very close. And I have enough time. That bar means 1 hour, so I can go after 1 or 2 hours when I see what is going up with my pair into one trade, and I can look for I can have bigger expectation because I have signal on daily and I have signal on 4 hour. So you can take a safe situation for your trade or a risky one. It's depending on you. Hi Christina, would you put trades on and go to work with a trailing stop? Well, I don't know what to say to you because first I'm working on the computer. So I will be all the time close to one computer. And otherwise I'm using trading on mobile. So if I want to go to with some friends or I want to go, I don't know, somewhere for a free time, I will reduce my exposure onto the market and I will take my mobile and I will check it from time to time. Trading stop, you can have something like one cut of the electricity and nobody will put your platform to work. So I don't think that it is a good idea. When you have a cut of electricity, probably for a few 1 or 2 minutes, everything is closed and will not be restarted. If you have any possibility to restart your platform, the trailing stop will be activated. Uh, Susanna is asking me, Christina, how did you manage the euro-dollar short trade entered on Thursday? I am okay with the trade. I closed it. Just I have to that video a horrible sound and I want to edit it to edit it. Yes, it was one announcement. This is what I wanted to show to you. Australia cuts interest rates as economists love. Maybe it's one interesting. Maybe it is one interesting article to read. Santosh is asking me, would you have taken the long on Aussie dollar on 27th of April? No, I was in. No, I didn't took any trade on Aussie dollar in the last period of time. The website for the news is the Forex Factory. So it was one article that was posted 16 minutes ago. No, I think that earlier. Just I didn't refresh my um, 2 hours ago. So okay, okay. So you can look for the news on also on Bloomberg, also on CNN, also on Reuters. There are a lot of sites with news. Okay, now we will finish our webinar, and I thank you that you was here with me, and we will meet in the next webinar. Okay, thank you. Duan, I will stay out of trades if I am into a short time frame, like 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Yes, this webinar is recorded. You will be able to see it again. Okay. Bye-bye. See you soon.